Hey, all right. You're listening to Horror Talk Radio. I'm your host, MrDeadman. With us tonight is Kim Cosch. How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you, Ginger Dead Man?
Oh, that's right, Mr. Ginger Dead Man, because I lost that horror trivia. I lost that right to say Mr. Dead Man now.
Yeah, and JC named you.
Yes, that's right. How is it that I lose every horror trivia? It has to be a gimmick, right? This has to be a thing. Maybe it is. Or maybe I just
I
have the
don't know.
worst
I
memory
feel
ever.
like you gave that one to me, though, because I was doing pretty bad.
I don't know. I'm not a gentleman. I'm not nice. So that can't be true. All right. Well, Mr. Ginger Dead Man here. And let me ask
Oh,
you,
Ginger
Kim.
Dead.
I start with one question for all my guests. Who are you and what do you do?
um, I am mom, a gun violence prevention activist, and a paralegal.
Oh, nice.
So that's three things I do.
Paralegal is pretty hard work.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, I would say so. It's a pretty heavy workload for the most part.
like
Hasn't
you.
been too crazy this year, though.
So
What's going
as a
on? The courts have been
paralegal,
closed.
do you ever get tasks and things you have to do for like other, like, for attorneys that are just like, oh God, what is this? God, what is this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you basically learn on the job,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you're given, the lawyer's work.
You
Stuff they
know,
don't want to do. So,
we're supposed to talk about paranormal stories, but I don't know. Talking about your your paralegal stuff might be more interesting. I don't know. What's the most bizarre task they've given you? You had to bury someone, had to hide some evidence. No, don't answer that. Um. Oh, and gun violence prevention is now. How do you prevent gun violence when just about everyone? I'm in Texas. Just about everybody has a gun over here. How do you prevent gun violence?
well, by helping to change the laws, basically. I mean, statistically, these kind of laws save lives, whether it's like red flag laws or safe storage laws, or closing loopholes on background checks or whatever. I mean, these laws don't infringe on anyone's rights, but at the same time, they protect people because, I mean, it's obviously going to be a deterrent towards some, and then others, are gonna, from what we've seen here and from what we've seen in the states, like on a state level, the change that has been made, it's made a difference. But it's still a work in progress. I mean, 100 people die from gun violence every day
Mm.
still. So
And in some of those guns too, it's like, I mean, the 100 people that die from gun violence every day, does that include like guns that are owned legally or guns that are owned illegally? Like, how does that break down? I was just curious.
well, because of the loopholes in the states, unless there are background checks on a federal level and they close the loopholes for that, because that's what will happen. The loopholes will get closed. People can still buy. They'll get a background check for like a bunch of guns or whatever, and then they could turn around and sell it online or at a gun show or in the trunk of their car, and they don't have to require a background check. So
Yeah, they just
that's
have the money. They have the
that's
money. They have
legal.
the honey.
That's legal.
The,
So
okay.
a
Okay.
lot of crimes have never been solved because the police will trace it back to that original owner, but they're not liable for anything, and they don't have to tell, or who they sold it to. They don't know. They don't have to ask for a background check
Okay.
to them.
All right. So you guys are. And that seems like a pretty fair thing to do to have it towards federal level. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, because we could do so much on the state level, but like, Connecticut has strong gun laws, but then we get, because of, the background loophole, like we'll get guns in from New Hampshire, and that goes to our cities, and Bridgeport still has, gun violence issues too, even with our laws, our strong laws. So unless we start changing stuff on a federal level, there's not gonna, we're not gonna like see the progress that we want to see.
Okay.
It's hard because we have to vote in people that are gonna work for us and are gonna work towards these laws, and not vote in politicians that will accept money from the gun lobby and actually work for them, not work for us. They'll just weaken the gun laws. More people die. So it what you have to vote.
Right.
So
right.
there is
Okay.
that one can really do.
Yep. Okay. Now, being a mom, that's a tough job too. You said you're also a mom. I gotta make sure you hit all that. But yeah, being a mom is a pretty tough job. Sounds like you're making headway on the gun rights, the preventing gun violence. That's pretty good work there. And
yeah.
Right,
I mean, I've been doing that for a few years now, and it's been great. The kids will come up with me to the state house and stuff, and they don't really know what's going on, and I don't explain it to them, but it's good for them to like get involved and see these things at young ages. I'm hoping it helps shape them into being better people.
Okay. Now, Kim, let's get into paranormal stories here. Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about that.
Yes. Actually, last week. last
week?
Wednesday. And it was really, really scary at the time, but what are you going to do? I mean, you can't just run out of the office and tell people downstairs that there's a ghost or whatever. They're gonna think you're crazy. But for people that believe in them, it's interesting. So the story is, I was sitting alone in the office. My boss wasn't there, and I just got off the phone with somebody, and I'm just playing around on the computer, and it was probably like a minute or two later, like the wire to the cord kind of like snapped
on the computer.
Back real fast.
Playing around on the computer. Were you just playing games? Were you just playing games at work?
Yeah. Well, my boss wasn't there, so.
The Fortnite or
just
Solitaire?
Kidding.
Which one is it? Neither.
No, actually, I was probably on Amazon shopping.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest.
All right, so you're shopping on time, on work time, and what
happens? Mm-hmm. And so the cord snapped back, and it was startling to me, and I kind of figured that it was something very strange. Something was different in the air. It did get noticeably colder, not freezing, but when I first walked into the office, I remember it being pretty warm, they turned the heat up, but in that moment it got colder. And then so I never do this, and I'm usually a skeptic and everything, but I decided to say something, and I was like, is somebody here? And I go, if somebody's here, move the cord. And
right.
And I went to look, and the cord, jumped up a little. And
up.
I was like, oh my God. And at first I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever, maybe it's some electrical movement or whatever, I kind of was telling myself that it wasn't really happening, that maybe I was just seeing it.
On shrooms or something?
But then,
on DMT? I mean, how does the cord just move?
I don't know. That's why I was like, let me just say something and see if like I get, if anything happens or, and it did. When it did, like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, am I like just seeing something, like what's going on? But sorry, still sound so sick. And so I said again to it, I said, move it again. And I waited a second, and then it jumped up the second time.
It just jumped
and
up.
I was like, my heart was really, really racing at this point.
Wow.
And I was even texting even like Damascus, because he was like sending me music at the time, and I said, I don't even want to say it again, like I'm freaking out, because I was scared to even see it like happen again. But of course, with me being like so curious, naturally, I was like, move it again.
Move it again.
And it did it like for the third time. So I was just like, it kind of like in complete shock, and my heart was really racing for a bit, and I couldn't believe it. Like, and I feel like after I started getting really scared, that's when it all like stopped. The temperature went back to normal, and I tried to ask again after the third time, and after I was like freaking out because I took a break to like, I guess calm down, because I was scared. And it didn't do that for the rest of the day.
Oh, wow.
But in that moment, I'm sure as anything else ever that something was definitely there, and it moved the telephone cord 3 times for me when I asked.
So what it sounds like, Kim, it sounds like you were haunted by a spirit that was pissed that you weren't working when you were supposed to be working. Are you sure your boss is still alive? Your boss is alive, right?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, yeah, your boss's boss, is he alive?
No, he doesn't have a boss. He's like his own sole practitioner kind of thing. So,
yeah, but what about the courthouse? Where does this happen at? In the courthouse, or does this happen in the law office?
No, it happened at the law office, but it was like, it's a newer kind of house building. So I don't think that anyone died there. I mean,
well,
I guess I could like research it.
Was there anyone buried in the ground that it was built upon? I mean, Native Americans, maybe?
I don't know. It's possible. But like in Poltergeist?
Yeah, like in Poltergeist. And instead of really trying to, kill you, they just want to mess with you, which is still kind of interesting.
Yeah. They want me to be working, not
get to work.
Shopping online.
Oh, what if the ghost is there helping you shop? They're trying to help you shop. Like, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? Ghost, why are you taking me to the naughty section of Amazon? I'm trying to actually buy stuff.
You never know, right?
Right.
It's just kind of odd, because I looked it up after, and from what like I've read on other sites, I don't know how true this is, but like I guess that it's easier for spirits, because they're made of energy, to manipulate and move electronics. And I don't know if you've heard about that.
I've heard about that before. I mean, I have some guests on that were into paranormal events, and they'll say that ghosts can interact with electronics. I'm not exactly sure why. They say like energy waves, that they're energy. It's like, okay. I know. One thing I'm kind of curious about your little scenario there, your story, is that do you ever watch Ghost Adventures?
No.
Oh, there's a guy.
I haven't.
Zach Baggins is his name. Zach Baggins. And his approach is to just insult ghosts. Just shit talk spirits until something happens. They walk into a place and be like, Ghost, if you're in here, I'm gonna kick your ass. Show yourself to me. I'm gonna kick your ass. Essentially, that's kind of what he does. That's his whole gimmick. And until finally a spirit comes, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared." Maybe that's what I was thinking. Is like, I wonder what if Kim could boss this ghost around, because it seems like it. Like you were telling this ghost what to do, and it was just doing it.
Yeah.
Like, move the cord. And move it. Okay.
It was like communicating with me somehow, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's super freaky to even fathom, but anything's possible, and I know, and I saw what I saw.
Yeah, I think you
So
did. I think you did. You know, when I hear these stories, I do believe that the people saw what they saw, and they went through that experience. You know what that was, and this cord was just there on the desk. It wasn't like there's anything else moving it. It's not like if there was a fan, a very strong.
no,
Yeah. Do you have a fan on the desk?
no,
You have like an AC unit that's right by the phone that would somehow move it if it was on max. No,
no.
it doesn't make any sense. You know that. So what could have moved it? For the people who are skeptic, it's just like, what could have moved the phone cord from one point to the other point? If there's no fan, right?
Yeah,
And
no,
no critter on the desk. Like, do you have rats that could have moved it?
no, nothing.
You have really strong roaches, like really big tree roaches that are just like.
No,
You like that reaction? I hate roaches too.
no.
Any I can't think of any other theory. Unless some skeptics will say, well, maybe she's just making it up. Well, okay. Maybe. But I mean, it seems like she's not.
No, no way. I wouldn't make this up, because I'm not like the type that even believed in it and was scared of it or whatever, but I was really scared. Um it really, like, it made the hairs on my arm stand up, and my heart was racing. And it's like, it went through my mind. It's like, well, what if something happens? Like, because of course you think of all like the scary movies, but I never got a vibe that it was any like bad spirit, if that makes sense. Like, I never was scared in that. I wasn't thinking that I was in any kind of danger. It just felt like something was trying to be like, hello.
Like, hey, hello there. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe, yeah, it wasn't trying to hurt you. It wasn't like an evil spirit or anything. It was just there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. I mean, who knows though, right?
Right. And here's the thing, like, and before going into this, I mean, were you a spiritual person? Like, did you believe in ghosts? Not really. I mean, did you believe in a spirit?
Yeah, I mean, believe in energy, and that life never really ends. And I guess I am somewhat spiritual, but I'm not like huge on ghosts, like not paranormal as a subgenre of horror. Really, I'm not like a fan of it, and I'm not. I don't know. Like, I like seeing haunted places. Like, I love going on the ghost tours in New Orleans and that, but I'm not big on it like a lot of other people are. And I never thought that I'd really be scared if I saw a ghost. Like, I always thought I'd just be like, oh, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I mean,
that
I
was
wouldn't
always
even know what
kind of
I'm
on my
looking
mind.
for. I wouldn't even know what I'm looking for is when it comes to that, because it's like they'll say like, oh, this is a ghost, that's a ghost, but it's like what you're looking at looks like a bunch of orbs to me, like a bunch of light. That's a ghost. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'd kind of want to see something a little bit more impressive than just what looks like some dust or a light orb.
Yeah, I always imagine that, like, you get scared because when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night as a kid and all the lights are off, you're like, oh, well, what if I see a ghost, And
Hmm?
even now, it's like, I guess I've always come to, like, terms with that. I'd accept it if I ever did, and I wouldn't be scared. But, like, I never But I guess that's like just seeing something and not really communicating with it the way I did, and having it move something for me.
Right.
So it's a lot different than what I ever expected. I didn't really expect much before. Like I said, I was kind of like a skeptic about a lot of it and didn't really care, but this definitely changed my outlook.
See, that moment was a game changer for you. And trying to figure out what else could have changed then. Man, because you've been to this office every day for a while, right? I mean, like, so you're familiar with it.
Mhm.
Man. Well, I mean, were you wearing any sort of... Were you wearing anything different? Any sort of jewelry, perhaps, that have a religious or spiritual significance?
No.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, no, like I I like to wear pentagrams sometimes, but I don't think that really had anything to do with it.
They just look cool. They look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inverted pentagrams
But I'm
or
not
regular pentagrams?
just regular. It doesn't matter. I like all different kind of styles with that. Um
Yeah,
but I'm not like, we talked about I'm not like huge into like the Wiccan religion, Wicca religion and all that. So
Gotcha. I know the upside one, inverted, is usually tied to Satanism. I mean, that's their symbol. But, I mean, this spirit wasn't evil, wasn't harmful. It's just kind of messing with you. I was interacting with you. I wondered, well, was there a particular case that you're working on that was different? Different than usual?
no.
What you can say? We know what you're free to say.
I mean, nothing that we haven't been that busy like with the pandemic. So it really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The only kind of thing that I could think of in my mind too, which I think it kind of sounds crazy, but I think that, it's possible that because the only other time like I had a similar kind of thing happen a couple of years ago, but that was more of like a
For a bit. Okay, are you there?
hello.
Okay, sorry. Something got hung up on my side. Um, the part where I got to was your dog. Your dog Yogi.
Yeah, I said that would be funny if it was actually my dog Yogi.
Oh, trying to communicate with you. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
my
Well, I
childhood
mean,
dog.
I believe animals have spirits. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
It's like I don't even know what a spirit really is. What is a spirit? What is a soul?
I know.
What is that, Kim? You want to speculate? What does it mean to have a soul, have a spirit? Are we sure we all have souls?
I don't know.
Do we have all spirits? I mean, what if some human beings are just pure evil and they have no spirit or soul? What if they're like the Grim Reaper? Or what if they're like the black hole of souls? They just suck everything in.
I don't know.
I know, right?
I guess it's possible, but I think that everyone probably has a soul.
Maybe some get them at we're not all created equal, I guess. I don't know. Some people might have like some gypped souls, like I don't know, like a broken soul. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But
An unevolved one.
right, like a special one. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're thinking this could have been a lost pet communicating with you?
No, I was making a joke about that.
I'm being
I don't
serious about
know.
it. Lost pet,
but
lost pet.
but anything's possible, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be funny. I'd welcome that too.
I believe it. I believe it totally, Kim. I do. I mean, now you said this happened before, but it was more of a feeling, not really as something. So, like, when you mean that, what do you mean by that?
Um, well, about 2 years ago, before the midterm elections, and me being a mom's demand action, I do a lot of campaigning work and things like, and we try to get people to vote for the candidates that have basically filled out our questionnaire and vowed not to accept money from the gun lobby. So before these elections, we're usually trying to like campaign for these candidates and stuff and help them out.
Right.
And a couple years ago, we almost lost a lot of our strong gun laws that were passed after the tragedy at Sandy Hook, because the guy that was running as governor against Ned Lamont, he is an NRA hack, and if he won, then we would have surely, regressed. And so it was a high tension time. And before the Vicky Soto 5K, which we go there and we be talking to people, and we give them our URL for gunsensevoter.org.
Mm-hmm.
I started to get one of these bad migraines. I suffer from really terrible migraines when I get them. They'll last for like days on end, and I have to take steroids. And the only time that it ever went away, and that was the day before, was before I was supposed to go and do that.
Okay.
And I go and table at the Vicky Soto 5K before the elections and everything. And I'm so glad that I was able to go. I wasn't going to go at first because I was so sick, and I always need steroids, but it just magically went away. And this hasn't happened again since. I still have to go on steroids when it happens, but this was the one time. And I just always thought it was just so crazy too. And I know that it was really important to her sister that we showed up and table, and they were best friends, her and Vicky, which has, I don't know if you know, like Vicky was a teacher at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Oh, I did not know
and
that.
She was murdered. Yeah. So, I was really happy, because, we didn't lose, like, we didn't lose to Bob Stefanowski, which was the guy that was running against Ned Lamont, the NRA hack guy. He lost, and we did pretty good, definitely for our state for the midterms. It was a happy ending and everything, but it's just odd to me that, like, I never get these, and I just always thought something was really weird about that, like, as if it was important for me to like help be there, and I've watched things before too after, like on Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know if you've ever seen them before too, where people have been like mysteriously like cured by things. It's been like miracles, and that's like even with really deadly diseases and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's from
mean,
like praying to
you
a
have money
saint
and power.
statue.
You have ways, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just found it weird that, well, the only other time I ever felt a sense of something else was once again, that was the midterms. And then now it's, it's like the election's coming up here.
Yep.
And I've been very stressed with that too, because I've been text banking and stuff. And so if it's true about like, that they come around during high stress times, and that would definitely make sense.
That would make a lot of sense right there.
Yeah. I don't know what you know about this stuff. If you've done like reading, I'm very new to like reading up about it.
Well, from the
So if
guests
you
I've
could
talked
like
to,
let me know what you know.
a lot of what I know is from the guests I've spoken with and with a former co-host. That yeah, high stress can do it. High stress will. You're since you're so occupied with everything else, since your
Mhm.
cognitive resources are pretty much drained in a way, being tested. You're more susceptible to see things, to hear things. Um, I mean, so yeah, it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense right there. Because most of the time, like if you
Yeah.
think about it, when you go about your day, like you're very much a skeptic, like you said. You're very much a skeptic. Like you don't really believe in the spirits. Maybe you do, but a ghost, okay. But when you're least expecting, it's kind of like the same reason why the people who usually see spirits are the ones who are not looking for them. The people who find ghosts are the ones who are not looking for them because uh, it's like they're not like preoccupied with, oh, what am I looking for? What is it really? You know,
Yeah.
you're more distracted, honed in on something else, and it's just, it's not like a sound science either. A lot of it's kind of like, it seems like no real objective way to really explain why. In that part, I'm still on the search for, on the hunt for, because when I spoke with the paranormal hunters before, like ghost hunters, it's like,
Mhm.
what are these, like, do you have like an objective scientific way to study paranormal activity? They have different devices to study electronic activity, but it's like, but is there an objective way that you guys all look at that together and be like, okay, that's what it is? Is there some sort of
Yeah.
census? But not even that. If you go to one ghost hunter and they're like, oh, a cold spot, that's definitely something. And then another one says, oh, a cold spot, that might be something, but it could also be just, um, you know, I don't know, something to do with the, with the interior, with the structure. I'm still on the hunt for that. I'm still searching. So,
Yeah.
hate to
You
disappoint
really
there, but
I don't
I
feel
want to
like
know.
if I tried to record it that it would do what I asked then. I don't know. I feel like it was all a part of the moment. And once I kind of like started to put the pressure on to do it, do it again, and I freaked out and it stopped.
Right?
So I don't know. Like I think that if you put too much pressure, I don't know how much if you're gonna get the results you want. If I was a ghost, I wouldn't want to if people kept on annoying me to show up.
It's another reason why I think
Like,
people who use drugs or people who have certain mental illnesses like schizophrenia and stuff, they might be more susceptible as well. The people who use drugs like DMT are,
hmm
I mean, that's a natural occurring um, compound in your brain anyway, but they use like LSD or shrooms or whatever. I mean, they're gonna see
yeah.
stuff for sure. Now, what they
Oh
see,
yeah.
is it just a hallucination, or what is it that they're seeing? I mean, are they actually seeing something we can't see? I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, I'm sure there are some that have probably crossed into that realm while being high on LSD, but I'm sure others have, it's just been the effect of the drugs.
Right, right. You know,
It's very possible though that it could, happen at the same time. And like I said, if you let your guard down, I feel like it'd be easier for them to try to that's the vibe I got. Is that if if there's no pressure, they'll come to you, but not
mhm.
if you're pushing it.
Right, right. Like I have actively wanted to find a ghost, to see a ghost, and I can't say that I have. I've had weird moments, weird experiences where and definitely when I was a kid, where I was afraid to go, let's say, upstairs because it was so dark. You know, in the house that I grew up in, the upstairs landing area was like pitch black at night. I was scared to go up there.
Yeah.
Now, was I just afraid of the dark, or was there something up there? I don't know.
I don't know. Anything ever happened in that house?
Well, in that particular
That you
area,
know of?
some weird stuff every now and then, like things that could be explained by just, you know, wood, heat. Sometimes floors kind of creak. But the creaking is kind of in weird parts where sometimes it would sound like someone is walking across, like the second floor. Like I'm in the living room, and it sounds like someone's just walking across it. The heavy feet. It's like, what was that? And that could be in like in broad daylight. That could be like during the day.
Yeah, that would scare me. That would really scare me.
There was an eerie, cold presence in that area of the house. One time we tried to film something there. I think there might be an old video of that on this YouTube channel. Really old. It might be unlisted. I might have blocked it. I don't know. It's so old. It's cool, crappy. I might have done that. But we went up there, and I took a Ouija board, and I tried to summon something. You know, I tried to get a response. I was being kind of an ass too on the Ouija board. Have you ever used one?
Yeah, like as a kid, but not like as an adult, seriously. And now that I'm reading about it, they really say you shouldn't.
Right. And I was doing it by myself.
Uh-oh.
They say you're not supposed to do that either. Don't do it by yourself. That's bad news, man. Opens up portals, opens up doorways. Really bad things can happen. And I was at the point where I was like, well, good. Because I want to see it. And so we did that. We're fooling around. We're recording it. Nothing happened there. I was like, man, that was a waste of time. I spent like 20 minutes up there just kind of dicking around with a Ouija board. Not literally. Not this story. There was another story where I did literally. I don't know if I want to tell you that one, Kim. You seem like a nice woman. I defiled a Ouija board to try to try to provoke a spirit. I have.
Uh-oh.
But what I did is we went downstairs, and the clock that was downstairs, while we were gone, I kid you not, it like froze in time. So the clock downstairs, which was working before we went up, and working later on after we came down. But we went up there, it was what, 8:30. We went back down. It was still 8:30 on that clock. We were there for 20 minutes. So it was like, this sounds so weird and trippy. So what happened? Did the clock glitch? Did the batteries just glitch out in the clock? Did we enter a time warp? I mean, what is this? You know?
Yeah.
Am I just making all this up? Nope. I swear to God. I swear to Allah. I swear to, you just name the God, okay? I'll swear to them.
Well, that's how I feel too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not making this up. You're not making your story up. It's just, you just walk away with questions like, what is this? What does it mean? I couldn't tell you, but it's weird.
And I'd like to read more now about it and all, but I don't know where to even start.
Well,
like what books to read and what's real, what's like phony, whatever, you know?
Yeah, my research really consists of talking with other people who have dabbled in the paranormal. You know, other, I guess, ghost hunters, other people who had these weird experiences. Have you ever seen shadow people?
No.
That's another weird one, another fascinating one. A lot of people say they see shadow people. Shadow people. Even my wife says she's seen shadow people before.
That would really scare me.
Right? If I saw a shadow person, I would shit my pants right now.
Me too.
Serious. A shadow person. In shadow form. I'm at wave high. Like, now that is something to see. I want to see that on camera, right? Not a bunch of orbs or light flying around or whatever. Oh, there's a ghost there. I want to see a shadow person. Like these people who say they've seen the Hat Man. You know who the Hat Man is?
No.
He's like this shadow guy that wears a fedora or top hat. And he comes to you in your weakest moments. He comes to you when you're on a bad path, maybe on drugs or something. Not while you're high. Usually when you're like going through withdrawals, or it sounds like whenever you're in the pits of hell of life, you know. He comes to you, and he's kind of like an omen, like you need to, correct your behavior, change your ways, or I'm coming to collect. And there's people who tell you these stories, and these people have never met, and their stories are very kind of similar in the message, in the meaning, and this symbolism. And it's like, what is that? Is that a product of the collective unconsciousness? Is that a product of the idea of this Grim Reaper of being a shadowy figure? What is it? Maybe. But
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I never heard that. Huh.
World's strange place, Kim Cosch. The world is a strange
you
place.
Think?
Right? I mean, we have our little experiences. Apparently, my ghosts, if you want to call it that, I don't know, it did like froze time for a little bit, at least on the clock.
Yeah. I'm sure they could. And a clock, too, which is like, electronic,
Mm-hmm. And yours was playing around with the telephone cord.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I would pay some good money to get like a ghost situation. Have the spirit of Patrick Swayze behind me, help me make some clay pottery. I'd pay money for that.
Right? Me too.
I just want to feel his strong arms
Reenact Ghost. Oh, poor Patrick Swayze. He's actually a ghost now.
Yeah.
I'd like for any celebrity ghost to come and visit me, though. I'd welcome it with open arms.
Hey, Sean Connery now. Sean Connery's now in ghost form.
Yeah. Rest in peace. 2020.
Yeah, you got a favorite horror movie?
Like of recently, because it changes all the time, and I've seen so many, and over the years, and I kind of go through phases where I like this more than that, but I really love Midsummer a lot. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen it. It's pretty good.
Ari Aster does Hereditary, which we were talking about before. What were you saying with the heartbeats in the horror movies? Yeah,
so on USA Today, which I don't know what you want to consider that real news, apparently they have like 10 best movies, 10 horror movies that have been rated based on how they affect your heart rate. Okay. So they measured this using experts at the gigacalculator.com. They decided, these experts, supposed experts, decided to ask about like 150 people to watch a set of horror movies that they selected. They watched it for the first time while wearing a heart rate tracker. The films were chosen based on a survey. A survey that apparently like 2,000 horror fans were asked to name their top 10 scariest films, and this is what for it. So, on this list, number 10 is The Exorcist. I mean, this movie, when it came out, was like groundbreaking. Now, not so much. But at the time...
Yeah, that's odd.
You know?
I know. Well, I still think it has a serious creep factor.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I don't think that a lot had been able to do the whole possession thing like they have. And, that was like 45 years ago or something. So,
right? And they're going to remake that movie.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah, they're doing a
coming
reboot.
out?
They are doing a motherfucking reboot of that movie.
Oh, is Linda Blair going to be in it?
No. Let me pull it up. The cast is actually pretty funny. There's no hope. Absolutely no hope.
God, is it going to be like the Craft remake?
Probably. It comes out 2021. Let's see. Where is the... I saw this once. I talked about it, but I have to double check. Because I just want to make sure I read this right. I just want to make sure I read the cast right. This can't be true.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see if I can get it here. I'm still here. Alright. See, now it's not even showing the list. Okay. Earlier we're showing the list of who's been selected. Let's see.
It's your ghost. He's messing with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Messing with you again.
I think he is. The ghost is messing with me. Yeah, but 2021, for real, The Exorcist reboot is coming. And that looks like a lot of fun. Like, why would you reboot that? Why would you do that?
No, I know. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. It seems like that's all they've been really doing lately instead of creating new, unique, different movies. But so who else was on the list then? If Exorcist was 10.
Let's see. You got The Conjuring at number 9. The Conjuring 2. Not the first one. The Conjuring 2. 97 beats per minute. Let's say, okay. And then number 8, you had It. I mean, I didn't think It was that scary.
The original or the remake?
The remake.
Oh.
The remake of It is scarier than The Exorcist?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, the CGI clown to me was kind of like, it distracted me from it. It was like, whoa, okay. This is, crazy. Okay. Number 7 is Us. You're going to tell me Us is scarier than The Exorcist?
I know, right? You're just going to go through, like, comparing every movie to The Exorcist.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on now. What do you think? Which was scarier, Us or The Exorcist?
The Exorcist.
See? Boom. Come on.
And also what made it, like, really scary when I was young, too, is that my dad told us before we watched it. I think I first saw it in 6th grade. And that was kind of late for me because I was, like, watching horror movies from, like, when I was a toddler. But before we watched it, he was like, oh, well, this, like, is based on a true story. So I was terrified watching it. I think that's what, like, made it even scarier. So if you have that in your head that, that, like, happened or whatever, even if it, is a fabrication, whatever you believe.
Right? I mean, it's based on true events. Sure, it's some hyperbole in there, of course, to make it more entertaining. But, yeah. Whereas Us is based on a crazy, crazy idea that we all have evil doppelgangers, which is kind of interesting, could be cool. Let's see, The Descent. I don't remember watching that one. But
I thought that was pretty scary the first time I saw it.
Pretty scary?
Yeah.
That's the one where they go into the cave, right?
The cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
So I
spelunking.
can see that being on the list.
Mhm.
See, I think it is a legit kind of scary movie, but I don't know if it's like the scariest.
What about A Quiet Place?
I've never seen that. I want to. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've seen it with my wife. My wife wanted to see it because of John Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Yeah, he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
directed it. He starred in it, and so did his whole family, his wife, and I think the kids were their kids or whatever. So okay, and that's interesting. Um,
I thought it was by the guys that did Haunt.
hmm.
I don't
Oh,
know
he's
though for
credited
sure.
for
I
directing
heard
it.
that the ending is like like sad or something. Is it?
The ending, the saddest part. See, the saddest part as a dad, the saddest part about The Quiet Place, is that I'm going to spoil this movie. I'm going to spoil it. There's no way I can't.
That's
There's no way
okay.
I
I don't
cannot
care.
spoil. Okay. Okay. Good.
I hate surprises anyway.
The dad dies. The dad dies in a
Uh-huh.
really dumb way. In fact, the whole movie you could say is a series of mistakes caused by the daughter because she just keeps the first one. The reason why the son died, the baby boy died, was because the father said it was shh. It has to be shh. Right? It's all quiet. That the daughter was about to give this rocket toy thing that makes a lot of noise to the boy, and the dad's like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. Yeah. And the acting's actually pretty good there. Like it's very intense. The guy who
Mhm.
played what's his name, Jeff John whatever in The Office. Um, in The Office fans would be like, what? You know his name? I don't know his name. Jim. There we go.
Jim.
Yeah,
Jim.
he played Jim. Pretty serious acting in this movie. Okay. Walk a little ways, walk a little ways. Next thing you know, the noise from that rocket starts alarming because the girl gave it to him anyway, going against the dad's orders, going against the dad's advice. And what happens? The son
What?
dies. Gets carried away by the monster
Oh
that you see for a split second.
no.
Whenever
Oh,
you make
now I don't know if
sounds,
I want to see that. Now that sounds really sad for some reason.
whenever you make sounds that the monsters come at you and they just kill you fast. They come out and they get you.
Mhm.
And the daughter keeps on making a bunch of noise, but she doesn't know apparently because she's deaf, so she doesn't hear the noise. But at the same time, the dad's like, "Hey, don't do this." But somehow they manage to
Yeah.
survive long enough to have like a little compound that they have. And it's like, okay, I don't know. It seems like y'all would have already had some sort of structure or something, and she wouldn't just like disobey like that because now she's now like being kind of careless. I don't know. It seemed kind of weird. Basically, you can tell me that you
Yeah.
guys have this compound to survive in when even, let's say, picking up a rock or picking up a hammer or some nails would be enough noise for the monster to come after you. Have you ever seen the movie Tremors?
Yes.
Okay, and that
Yeah, I
was
love that movie.
oh, great movie, great movie. You make sounds, this thing comes after you. Okay, sounds are
Mhm.
also waves and all. That's what it's kind of like. But Tremors is better. I think Tremors is better than The Quiet Place.
Hmm. Interesting. Is it scary though? Like
A Quiet Place has its moments where it tries to be intense, but it's also kind of stupid. Like,
scarier than The Exorcist?
no, 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 definitely not. Definitely not. The Descent is actually scarier than a Quiet Place, and I haven't even seen it. Yeah, cool tactic in the chat.
I bet it is.
The monster in Tremor isn't even scary though. Yeah, you're right. The monster in Quiet Place isn't even scary either. The monster in Quiet Place looks kind of like a Zergling that's missing a leg. I don't know if you ever played Starcraft, but yeah,
No, I haven't.
no, that's good.
That
Games corrupt your life. You play games, you do nothing with your life. That's worse than weed. Okay, Insidious, number 4. You believe that?
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but yes.
I don't know about Insidious. It seemed like a comedy at one point.
Yeah, it got a little goofy sometimes. I don't know.
When the crew came in, that's when it got kind of ridiculous. you know?
Yeah,
Let's see. Number 3, the Babadook. Apparently
that
it
was
made
all right.
yeah, but as far as
I
the
didn't think that was
scariest,
that scary.
right, right. It was interesting. That was kind of a cool
Yeah, it was
film,
different.
but then it was
I'll
like
definitely give it that.
that was another film where I was like, maybe I lost a message. For me, I felt like the point of the movie was that the mom is just trying to have her me time, and her little boy keeps on interrupting it with the stupid fears of the shadow person.
Yeah.
Okay, your mom just wants some time alone, son. Can you do that? Jesus
So I
Christ.
know, it's so tense.
Let's see, number
That
2.
movie was very tense.
Oh, it was. It was. And number 2 on the list is Saw.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm not really into like the whole torture aspect of Saw, but I can see how that would make people's hearts beat fast.
Yeah.
So,
If they said Saw 2. I mean, the Saw franchise, I would argue too, Saw 2 is the best one out of all of them.
is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Saw 2.
Saw 2 is faster than Saw 1, but it doesn't get as campy and crazy and just weird with its stupid contraptions like it does after Saw 3. It just gets it gets dumb, ridiculous.
I like Hostel better than Saw.
Oh, Hostel's good too. Let's see.
Why is that not on the
And
list?
at number 1, yeah, I know, right? Why is it on the list? And number 1 is Hereditary. So according to this list,
Yeah.
based on measuring people's heart rates, Hereditary is the scariest movie.
Hmm.
I don't. True.
Yeah, I kind of would disagree with that, but I mean, I thought it was very creepy, and especially the scene where her head gets like decapitated and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
in the
after that point,
ending, I guess.
when that happened, did you not want to kick that son's ass? You want to like murder
Yeah.
him twice?
And then he just like stays out there all night and goes to bed.
Yeah, I would drag him
Like
out of
you
bed.
just go to bed. I know.
I would
Until the mom
murder
wakes
him.
up and sees it the next day.
I'd wake him up. I would bound him,
Attack
cover him up with honey, put him out there near an ant bed, and let ants just feast on his body. That's what I do. That's what I freaking do. Yeah.
That kid did a really good job acting, though. He was also in My Friend Dahmer. He's a really good actor. It was sad with the daughter.
Yeah.
And the ending was, I guess it was freaky, but I wasn't thinking it was like that scary though overall. I don't know. I just thought it was like dark, but who knows?
Right.
Hostel's not on the list.
I think this list is broken because we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know all the ins and outs of this little study they did. It doesn't sound like it was really much of a study. Like, were they measuring these heart rates for the whole movie, for the whole duration, and just getting the average? Were they doing that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
who's
I
on the
wonder how
list?
they like measure that.
Right? I mean, here this movie has It as number 8. Like, are these people new to horror movies? Like, who do they get? Like your
I
grandma
know.
and grandpa who go to church, who would probably just keel over if they saw like Hostel, like, oh my god.
Yeah. I wonder what the sample like age demographic was
Right?
in that whole study.
Bunch
That's
of
pretty
jokers.
interesting.
Yeah, man, talk about And these questions need to be answered before this can be even considered legit.
Yeah.
I know, right? The Thing is not even on the list.
Yeah. It's
Original.
like, come
Well, I said the
on.
original. The original of The Thing. No one really talks about the original of The Thing. But, John Carpenter's remake, The Thing, is really good. That's pretty intense. Talk about an intense movie. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That blood scene is like one of my favorite scenes. They're testing out the blood.
That's actually a remake that they did a good job with compared to remakes today.
Right. That's a remake that actually did well. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, Miss Kim, we did pretty well. I think we shared a lot of paranormal stories. I shared one about, I guess, about ghosts. Froze time for a little while. I don't understand how that happened. Neither of us really do. You had an interesting story about a ghost kind of messing with you, or you were able to communicate with it, apparently. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, ladies, if you like this episode, I want to do more into the paranormal. Just if you want to hop on and want to talk about it, let me know, and we'll definitely do that later on down the line. Just hit me up on Twitter at MrDeadmanDT, and let me know, and we'll schedule that. Okay. Anyway, guys, ladies, thank you so much for listening, making this far. Press the like button, share, subscribe. Kim, Cosch, thank you so much.
Thank you. I had fun.
All right. I have fun
Ginger
having
Dead
you.
Man.
Ginger Dead Man. Yes. All right. All right, Kim, you take it easy.